The moon has 4 names: Asanja, Ebla, Benes, Ere. The sun has 2 names: Orgerez, Tomez. Enoch 78. The question I'm going to ask here is, what are the planets? 7 of them: Mars, Venus, Mercury, Uranus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. These are evil planeo, seducers. They lead astray, they cause to wander, they deceive. These 7, at the beginning of their rising, they didn't come out at their appointed time that God ordained and commanded them. And so he was angry with them, and he bound them in the blackness of darkness until judgment. He imprisoned them. Then, in Genesis 6, there were angels that came down to the earth and lusted after the daughters of men. And they created offspring with these daughters of men. And the offspring were mighty giants and very evil. And when these giants died, their spirits would stay on the earth and become evil spirits. And the angels that came down would be buried in the earth for 70 generations. And then when that time came, they would be led off to the abyss of fire. And the abyss of fire is also known as outer darkness, the blackness of darkness, Sheol, many different names and descriptions, the wilderness. It's a spiritual place, and it's a prison. This is why so many people today are gathered against this organization, I should say these organizations, that call themselves space agencies. They are not going to a place that is a solar system. They're being lured into outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Nobody realized this. And so Apollo came and went with the moon missions. And they landed on the moon, they say. But the moon is a light. And as I said a few minutes ago, it has 4 names: Asanja, Ebla, Benes, and Ere. So, as children, everyone alive today was taught that these 7 evil, transgressing, bound up, imprisoned luminaries were places to go. And now we have Elon Musk trying to go to Mars to create a world for humanity, just in case this world goes bad. This is a mistake to take part in any of this. It's a mistake to believe in any of this. It's a mistake to believe that this is for humanity. It's not. It's the devil and the demons. The fallen angels have now invited men by their inspiration. They've invited men to create technology, and they've taught men, especially Elon Musk, they've taught him how to go into that darkness, and they're coming back through into the earth because men are basically opening the jail cell. So although we were taught these planets were places in a solar system, they're not. The stars in the sky, besides these 7, all circle the North Star. These 7 are the only ones that don't. And actually, there's an 8th one now, because there's the space station. 8 wandering stars. John, in Revelation 17, went to a place where there were 7 mountains, and the 8th was the beast. And the reason why that interests me is because Enoch also went to a place that had 7 mountains. And guess what those mountains were? They were those 7 stars that didn't obey God. And it's even said in the book of Enoch that those fallen angels and those 7 transgressing stars would defile mankind and lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. By assuming many different forms. We're in a spiritual battle today, and almost everybody's probably not aware of the things that I just explained. And that means you're losing the battle. Because we need to come out of this place. This place where there's planets, this solar system where there's a globe. Run away from it. It's nothing but wickedness. And it is a trick that the devil is still deceiving many of you with. And no, I don't know everything. But I do know this. And I didn't learn this from myself. I learned it from a higher power that's trying to get this information to people in this physical material world we live in, called the Earth. This information comes down from heaven by the old writings of the prophets. They wrote about these things long ago. And it was even written that it would be kept secret until the end. And then it would be revealed. The sevenfold doctrine of God's whole creation would be received in the world at the end. That's today. So what I'm saying is, jump off the ball, It's flat. It's stationary. You know it. I know it. The pride that makes you want to stay on that globe isn't worth it. Get rid of it. I did. It's the best thing I ever did. The earth is a plane. And live in the world that you experience. Don't live in the world that this world and science has tried to sell us all. Because it's false. And all their efforts in the sky will come to naught. And God won't have any pity. Come out of her, my people. Don't partake in her sins, because they're reaching up to heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast.
It's a bottomless pit.
In this abyss of darkness.
I really believe in the space frontier, the abyss, so to speak.
The good abyss. The good abyss.